Good day, fellow geeks. On this week's episode of Geeks of Azeroth, we're right about everything. All that and more on this week's episode. By geeks.
About geeks. For geeks.
Welcome to Geeks of Azeroth!
Hello, and welcome to the show. My name's Tarley, and with me, as always, we got Big Voodoo and Britzza. Gentlemen,
Hey.
How's it going?
It's going good. Weekend's going too quickly here in the UK.
Oh.
I agree.
But our weekend has just begun.
That's it. This is a nice sort of, a second highlight to my weekend, so feeling good.
Always feeling a bit thrown off. This morning just happens to be the morning of daylight savings time. Lost an hour of sleep. Always good. Do you guys do daylight savings in UK, right?
Yeah, we do it, but we do it at different time to you. So why is it still a thing?
I
think
don't
John
know.
Asked that.
It doesn't make any sense. It's
It
not
doesn't
for the
make any
farmers.
sense.
They say it's for the farmers, but it isn't. It's a lie.
Yeah, well, even the farmers don't like it. So it just gives us less sleep, and no one likes it because of that. Everyone has to get up earlier, and the only payoff is like 6 months later, you get to say, "Yes, I get an extra hour's sleep."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So how have you guys' week? This is the first time we've just done a week in between shows for a while. But how was your week in gaming, Big Voodoo?
It's alright. I got another StarCraft account. Did some videos from that, or a video from that, and played a little bit of Heroes. Other than that, I haven't done a whole lot. Lots of StarCraft, though. I started playing Terran instead of Zerg, so I kind of just reset everything back in Bronze League, and it's not going well.
But you still managed to beat me, so
It happens.
and I couldn't beat Tarley, so that makes me feel really at the bottom of the pack.
So Britzza, how was your week in gaming?
Yeah, mine's actually been a little bit more active than it was last week. I have been working on the DK in WoW, and when you've got heirloom gear, not only do you just eat anything, it's literally like a one-button kills. I don't think I've actually had to press more than 2 buttons to kill any enemy so far. And also, I think I'd probably have done, it feels like 20 quests, and I'm already at level 89. I've struggled to move through the zones quick enough to keep leveling. So yeah, that's really, really moving quickly. And now I probably need to get hold of a token because I need to upgrade all my heirloom gear. So yeah, but otherwise, things going well. Trying to do a bit more heroes. Trying to push into rank play. It seems I always keep trying to do the gold quests. Log in, do my quests, and then log out. And I'm not really getting better at the game. All I'm doing is just getting gold to spend on characters. So I need to work on that.
And this week I've spent a lot of time, of course, in Overwatch.
What else would you spend it in?
Exactly. I saw Tomb Raider was on sale on Steam, so I decided to pick that up, and it is fantastic. Of course. I mean, the first one was fantastic, so it's really fun to play, but a good distraction. Otherwise, Overwatch and more Overwatch. And a little bit of Overwatch, so.
And then you'll end up getting Overwatch on PC and console so that you don't have to be detached from Overwatch at any time.
Exactly. I'll just have one screen Overwatch console, one screen here Overwatch PC, and then a live stream on the other screen. I don't know where I'm getting all these screens, but it'll happen. So, moving on, it's time for news of the week. That's right. It's time for news of the week, where we discuss news that came out this week.
What?
So when we're talking about news here, we're basically saying that everything we predicted last week somehow managed to come true within a matter of days of us talking about it. So, Big Voodoo, why don't you take us off into what you predicted to a key last week?
Last week, we were talking about Hearthstone and it getting a new expansion. It is going to be Whispers of the Old Gods. It looks pretty friggin' cool.
Pretty freaking cool, everybody. Pretty freaking cool.
Pretty freaking cool.
Pretty.
Yeah. So with it, they are adding a new format for competitive play. It'll be what ranked play is all done through, and then they'll have essentially what you play right now. So they'll have standard format, which is cards released the current year and last year, and then wild format, which will be any card that you have. One kind of interesting thing about this is all of the Naxxramas cards are going to be going away. You won't be able to purchase Naxxramas as an expansion anymore. However, you can still make those cards with dust, which, I don't know, if you didn't have money and you wouldn't be able to craft those cards, could be a benefit. But Naxxramas and Gnomes vs. Goblins will be out of competitive play as soon as Whispers of the Old Gods does release.
And why do you think they're doing this? Do you think it's just to keep it a more balanced type of competitive play?
It's balance and being able to change the meta more often. Honestly, most trading card games seem to do something like this. I know Magic the Gathering has a standard format that's, lasts like 7 sets or something. So this isn't a new concept for trading card games by any means.
What do you make of this, Britzza? Are you surprised by the Old Gods?
No, I think when we discussed it last week, it was a perfect time to bring it up. The Old Gods, we've killed 2 of them, unless I've miscounted that. So, it's perfect to sort of start touching on that. And I don't know, it seems very Cthulhu heavy. So, and whether it sort of sets us up, some lore to lead into future expansions. Because obviously there's that last Old God that isn't it basically the underwater one?
Cthulhu, right? Isn't that Cthulhu?
No, Cthulhu's the Iron.
Oh, right.
I can't remember what the one's called, but it's...
yeah, that's going to bother me now.
But it'd be cool if the lore can sort of point in that direction.
Nazoth. That's his name.
That's it. You can tell I'm the master of lore. But yeah, no, I think it's interesting. And watching the tournaments this weekend, and particularly I was watching the tournament in Japan this morning, UK time this morning, that is, and really kind of seeing it play competitively, on that level, even though I couldn't, the cards are all in another language, so you can't really read anything on the screen. You really rely on the commentators to tell you what's going on. It really sort of made me think, I need to get back into Hearthstone, and the cards that I've seen so far coming with Whispers probably offer a bit more, a bit of a refresh to the mechanics that I need.
Mm-hmm. And we can just play a brief trailer for anybody who'd be watching the video. So here we go.
Now I've got a tale to tell you of the ones from long ago. There's an evil that's been dreaming, but now it's softly screaming. From the darkness, their power will grow. Their voices are made of poison. When you listen, you are sure to be disturbed. You can lock your doors. You can say your prayers. No creature can resist their wicked words. Never mind, no need to worry. That's all just a story of the whispers of the old gods.
I love the character that is put into Hearthstone. It is such... with every kind of announcement, trailer, expansion, there's just a lot of character that's in Hearthstone that you don't even really see in World of Warcraft. It's kind of exaggerated. I've always liked that.
It's got that video in particular has got a real Disney vibe. I don't know where I'm getting it from, but certainly the song.
After the Overwatch cinematic, now this, Blizzard is just turning into Disney.
First prediction of the show.
There we go.
So, there's
next game
4
will be
old gods.
Mm-hmm.
Cthulhu, Yogg-Saron, Yisharj?
Yisharj.
Yeah. And
Nazoth.
And Nazoth.
I think
Where's Yisharj? Or whatever.
he's from Deepholm, isn't he? Or like he's one of those like tentacly monsters.
He was
with the fins on his face. Like every Cataclysm boss looked like that.
He was the old god that was linked to what Garrosh pulled out of that chest at the end or beginning of Siege.
Oh, okay.
So I guess by beating the Shah, we beat him. Well, I don't know if that's confirmed. Actually, I could be talking out. Could be
talking out
lies.
what? Talking out what?
I could be telling lies. So
another cool thing, you get Cthulhu and 2 Beckoner of Evil cards for opening your first pack of Whispers of the Old Gods. So
everyone will have Cthulhu.
And the ability on Cthulhu's quite interesting. I was going to say quite good, but it's randomised effectively, so I guess it could be quite unpredictable. But the ability to deal 6 damage to any enemies.
Did you see what Beckoner of Evil and stuff does too?
I haven't. Oh, hang on. Oh, fair enough. If you're boosting that,
yeah,
that's pretty cool actually. So you end up
yeah.
just playing Cthulhu and then just basically buffing him to the max.
Well, you can play those. You can buff him wherever he is while he's still in your deck.
That's pretty cool actually.
All right, so anything else on Whispers of the Old Gods before we move on?
Have we got a release date for it?
No, I don't think we do.
It's going to be late April, early March, I think, is what
early May, you mean? Because it's currently early March right now.
Right. Sorry.
Sounds about right. Get it out just a little bit of time before Overwatch.
All right, yeah, because again, Blizzard has never been one to stack releases upon themselves, so
it's getting quite tricky for them,
right?
Now, release getting quite busy.
Speaking of Overwatch, another thing that we got right last week was Overwatch is being released at the end of May, specifically May 24th. Do I have that right? Mm-hmm. Yes, May 24th, and with an open beta at the beginning of May, starting May 4th. If you pre-order the game, you can have it a day ahead of everybody else on May 3rd, and it will last for a weekend only, and then there will be no more beta, sad face, until the game comes out.
You've had your filling of beta, Tarley.
I need all of it! But no, this is fantastic. The open beta will also be on consoles. And you do not have to pre-order the game to get it. It is available literally to anybody who wants to play it. Just the pre-order gets you in one day before. So, cool stuff. Overwatch. Yay. It's coming, people. My thoughts on Overwatch release date is still even more, really, I hope, confirming my thoughts on World of Warcraft's release. Pre-patch in June and release by July.
I don't know if they were... confirms it, but it
not confirms it, but it makes it more open. If they were going to release Overwatch in June, then there'd be less likely for them to do anything else for like Warcraft, for example, in June.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping maybe I'm calling something else, and we'll be right about that too, because we here at Geeks of Azeroth are right about everything.
So we've heard from ourselves.
Oh, this is great. It'll be great to finally have you two in Overwatch. Finally, someone to play against or play with who will be decent at the game.
You're both getting it on PC, aren't you?
Yes. And console.
See, I'm tempted. Yeah, well, I'm tempted.
I think I might get it on
both.
console as well.
Yeah, because this is the thing. Do you think Overwatch? I presume it's going to be like BlizzCon competitively.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So we've talked about this before. What's it going to be on? The top teams, is there going to be a separate league for Xbox One and PlayStation? Well, they're not cross, are they? So it'd have to be 3.
Yeah.
Because you can't, because the Xbox players haven't had a chance to play against the PlayStation players. So you can't expect them to compete necessarily, because it will bring out questions of, it's easier to play on Xbox. So how do you choose a winner? Who is the best Overwatch player?
I think they'll go with PC Master Race and just bring the PC competitors to BlizzCon.
And just give them a...
I don't know, though. I mean, that is actually a really interesting point.
If they do console competitions, it'll probably be done through Xbox, would be my guess. Just because Xbox was the center of, esports for games like that for so long, with Call of Duty being...
Very true, yeah.
Played on Xbox throughout its competitive scene.
Or is it just a case of just giving them a controller that they can USB up to a PC? Is that? Am I just being silly and saying you could just give them the controller and the game runs exactly the same?
It does. That does happen. That does work. But
Yeah.
I feel like you have quite an advantage with keyboard and mouse over controller.
Yeah. Well, yeah, at least for the most part.
Just stick
At
a
top
VR
end
headset.
gameplay, yes.
And just, I mean, I guess one hesitation I would have about buying it for console is like I just don't like that game on controller. I've tried it. I've tried a few games, and it just doesn't feel right to me.
Is that because you've got to be doing more than one thing at once?
Yeah,
You only
because
have two thumbs?
it's more than just a shooter. You're always using your abilities and stuff, and then that just makes it feel weird on a controller versus PC. But again, personal opinion.
Do you think it will survive on console?
Oh, I'm sure it will. I don't know, though. I really have a hard time gauging how popular this game is going to be. I think a lot of people do. A lot of Blizzard fanboys, of course, are pumped up about it. But how far outside of that community does Overwatch reach right now?
It's true. It has got a huge presence, like across retail here in the UK. You go into any game store, and it's easily got a wall to itself without even just the adverts. So
yeah. I mean, I had a moment at my job the other day where I was just watching a video on Overwatch, and everyone there came and watched, and they had never even heard of it before. So it's just interesting.
And you were like, open beta.
Pretty much. And like I mentioned last week, Overwatch is just consistently being patched, and just this week a huge balance patch went into the game where they just drastically changed some heroes' dynamics, and they added a new map to the game, just suddenly, didn't tell anybody, added a few legendary skins that nobody knew were coming, so just still big patches coming to the game without any kind of warning. The new map is, in my opinion, overly bright. It hurts my eyes to play. I need sunglasses. But it's on a beach resort. It's pretty entertaining.
Well, that's cool.
They released some new skins, like a Frogger Lucio. He looks hilarious. Space Frog Lucio, specifically. But that's enough for Overwatch, unless anybody wants to add on.
No, it's coming. At last, we have a date.
Blizzard hasn't given any information on how they're going to run esports for Overwatch, have they?
No. They haven't. They haven't even talked really about how they're going to do competitive play at all. So
what I find odd about this is there's a lot of teams already out there.
Yeah, exactly. There are so many teams being formed. Yeah. All of them like ex-CSGO players or what's that other PC shooter? Team Fortress. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not a lot of Call of Duty players making the jump over, but they have their...
It's because Call of Duty's worth so much more money.
True, for now. Britzza, you said you had a theory about BlizzCon, or was the console thing that discussion?
Well, actually, I do have a theory that I thought about last week after the show.
Okay.
About when BlizzCon might be.
Oh, okay.
I'm predicting, because we're always right, and it seems to be that we're the centre of rumours as much as the commentator on rumours. I was thinking, just idly, when our 100th show would be. And there's a bit of a flaw in this, because it sort of presumes we're going to do a show consistently every week between now and BlizzCon. But our 100th show will be on the 5th and 6th, the 5th of November.
Okay.
So I'm calling it now. I think Blizz is going to do us a favour and fit BlizzCon around our 100th show. So I'm saying 5th and 6th.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that at all. It was the 5th and 6th last year. The year before it was the 6th and 7th. This year, I am certain it will be the 4th and 5th. Mm-hmm. I would not put that past Blizzard, and that would be awesome. So now we have to commit to doing a show every single weekend, even if only one of us is available. We will be doing a show.
It's just a weird coincidence that on that basis, the 100th show would be at BlizzCon. So, yeah.
We're all just going to have to go to BlizzCon then.
Yeah, Britzza.
Yeah.
We need Zool back as well. Zool.
We'll have him by then. Saying that, I am thinking about the logistics of getting to BlizzCon. I do want to go, and if I can afford it, I will go. So, Because otherwise I'll just be in a situation where I'll be like, I'll come in 2017, and then I'll be like, I could have gone in 2016.
Let me tell you how I've done it 3 years in a row. Credit cards.
So, charity tickets, all on you, Tarley, is it?
Yeah. And let's all go to the benefit dinner.
We could all suit up and go as a podcasting team and just bid on everything.
All right. Well, I definitely like that theory, and I'm guessing you're going to be pretty accurate on that one. So we'll move on. Legion Alpha. Some more news about that. Brian Halinka, he's been very quiet as of late, has finally come out and talked a little bit about PvP on the Alpha. So just to talk about it, he mentions the new honor system. He says the new honor system in Legions is Legion's major PvP feature, and so it's important to test the full experience during Alpha. We wanted to gauge what it felt like to earn honor through battlegrounds and arenas, then unlock PvP talents over time. For the most part, we think it feels pretty good, but I've definitely heard the feedback that people would like their first 6 talents faster. So far, I guess they are enjoying the rate you gain your honor. I don't know if it's experience or just honor points. I don't know what to call it in this new system. I feel like it's just an entirely different set of levels that you're getting, basically. He goes on to mention that still no new battlegrounds to be added, and they're going to open up skirmishes, but they have obviously no rating system in the alpha for you to play. Class balance, he goes on to say, this is a tricky time for PvP class balance in the alpha. At this time, class designers are primarily focused on implementation and haven't had the opportunity to do a balance pass on many abilities, talents, and artifact traits. We've been doing the alpha right alongside you and realize that there are a number of classes that feel overtuned. The good news is that gives us great opportunity to try many of the new PvP-specific tuning knobs we have at our disposal. Going throughout this process, we have been has been super valuable, calling out situations where these systems were falling short. We really appreciate you being patient as we sort them out. So, basically, there's a big control room at Blizzard where Brian Halinka will sit throughout the duration of Legion when it is live, and he has all these knobs with class power and each class labeled over them, and he can just turn them up and down as he sees fit. That is the balancing in Legion.
That's it. And if you're a warlock, all the knobs are turned to 0.
He also goes on to talk about basically damage is too high, tanks are way too tanky, and healers aren't doing anything. So right now, if you're trying to do battlegrounds in the alpha, you're not gonna have a good time.
Unless you're a team of tanks.
A team of tanks, yes.
Or damage, which
and
happens
tanks
quite
and
often.
demon, just demon hunters. That's all you need. But,
That's true.
Mix up both specs, and there you go. You have a winning team. But, I mean, this isn't really any surprising to hear that, of course, during the alpha, while the classes aren't even remotely done yet, that PvP is not working out right now. Don't be surprised by that. At least the honor system is working, and that's cool. And there's been positive feedback for it. Big Voodoo, you look like you have something to say or remotely concerned about something that's happening off screen.
Are classes Actually, no. It's on screen, just on my second screen now.
I see.
Are all classes available in the Legion Alpha now? I felt like they were still missing a couple.
All classes are. I think there's just a couple specs that have yet to be released. Let me pull this up.
That's what I was doing too.
Do we have Jeopardy music?
Brewmaster and Destruction Warlock?
Those are the only ones unavailable.
Okay. So for the most part, they do have the information they need.
Yeah. Just everything. They have not even remotely nailed down the class stuff yet. They just completely redid Assassination Rogue just this past week from what it was like a month ago. So they are definitely going through and changing a lot.
But we're getting there. I guess, do you think it's comforting that the things that they're having problems with are the things they always have problems with? Class, balances, sort of getting damaged. I mean, I'm surprised tanks are doing as well as they are. But like upping the healing and things like that, they tend to always pop up even when there's a new patch. So, like you say, Tarley, because they've got the honor system grounded, And that's the big change coming with Legion. That's probably good news. But are you guys worried about it?
System resetting. Don't turn the power off, or the whole thing will probably explode.
Well, that was interesting. Back to the conversation at hand.
Where did we get up to? Are you guys worried that the thing that they still need to fix some of this stuff, or are you okay, like I am, that it's the stuff they always tend to have to rejig even after patches, the healing and damage and things like that, and class balances, because those things always need adjusting.
I mean, I don't know.
It's an alpha for a reason, is what I would say. Like, yeah, if they continue to have this problem and it's like a month before their release date, then I'll start to be concerned. But right now, it's what you expect or should expect from a game.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Righto.
Righto.
Moving on. Anything else on Legion PvP? All right, so one of Blizzard's most popular games has received a patch this week. Just simple Warcraft 3 receiving a new patch, pretty typical. Wait, what? Yes. Warcraft 3 just got patched. Or is about to get patched on March.
About to get patched.
What? Why? We don't know. There's no patch notes. Blizzard, what are you doing?
They're playing with my childhood.
Voodoo thinks he knows.
So I would say most likely they put in a patch here recently for Diablo 2 that was just update of kind of viability, I guess is how you'd phrase it. Essentially making it run with Windows 10 newer systems. It runs on OS X now so you can actually play it on new Macs instead of just really old school ones. And I expect this will be the same thing for Warcraft, just a little bit of, hey, it still works now.
And I'm predicting that they're adding a new army, new graphics, making it better than StarCraft 2, and an entirely new campaign series. We'll see who's right on March 15th.
The Murlocs are getting their own faction.
That would be fantastic. I would play that just to troll people.
It'd be cool if they do upgrade the graphics, because then they could, and some of the more base mechanics, because then they could kind of have a tournament going at BlizzCon. That'd be kind of cool. Sort of bring Warcraft 3 back for that.
That would be interesting.
I don't know if
most of the professional players for Warcraft 3 are either StarCraft 2 or casters now. A lot of StarCraft 2 casters are.
We've definitely seen interest in Warcraft 3 with the Armies of Azeroth mod for StarCraft 2. Big Voodoo and I had a chance to play that against each other, and it was pretty fun, pretty entertaining. Neither of us really remembered how to play that game. But still, that was fun to play nonetheless. So I would love to see Warcraft 3 actually get some love.
Warcraft 4 confirmed this BlizzCon. That's all I have to say.
All right, there you go. There's another thing that we are confirming here on our show. Not just a rumor, but confirmed.
We can also confirm there's a $10 million prize pool for the winner of the Warcraft 3 Championship at this year's BlizzCon.
Did you say $10 million?
$10 million.
Okay.
$100 million. It's possible.
Fair enough. Well, Britzza, why don't you lead us into the next little bit of news here, talking about some Legos?
Yes, Legos. What better thing to sort of start heading towards the end of the show with? But basically, it probably as it is. I don't know, Tyler, if you want to bring it up on the video, but
I've got it.
And the link will be in the notes. But basically, someone, I was going to say a guy, but someone by the name of Burlock has recreated a mini Ogrimmar entirely of Lego. And he said, the account from him is that in the last year I was a rather inactive builder. Though in my mind I planned my new diorama, the wall with the guard towers were inspired by the Gates of Ogrimmar in WoW, but the other elements are not connected to the game. Maybe the windmill a little bit. Unfortunately, I was in a rush at the end, but at least I see a lot of improvement possibilities. So, this person does this for a hobby and has made a pretty excellent job at it. I think it's a lot more similar to WoW than he probably gives it credit for. But I guess that's just me seeing the similarities with the caves and things like that. But it's pretty awesome.
It is pretty cool. There's only 3 pictures here that we can see, and So we don't really get the entirety of Orgrimmar if he made the entirety of Orgrimmar, but still looks really cool. It's obviously very Warcrafty. Lego needs to come out, since the movie's coming out and everything, they just need to release a Warcraft set.
I agree.
Or it'd probably be Mega Bloks, let's be real. It wouldn't be Lego.
No, that'd be cool though. I think that's probably Mega Bloks. I mean, what age range are Mega Bloks aimed at?
They're just the competitors of Lego, I would say, the same range.
I would love to see something Lego, because Star Wars, there's loads of Star Wars Lego for Episode 7.
Yeah,
so I think they must want to get in on that. But I guess it depends on what you.
What do you think, Voodoo? Would you play with Warcraft Legos?
Absolutely.
That is the right answer.
Right?
I'm looking at these pictures as well. It's not 100% accurate because I noticed that there's not 40 playable characters all arguing about why they wiped on the boss in the courtyard. So that could be added.
Come on, Lego.
Let's
I guess whoever made this.
Burlo.
Come on, Burlo.
Would you guys? Could you ever imagine doing something like this?
I'm not creative enough to do something like that.
I could imagine doing something like that.
Yeah, I can totally imagine
when it actually happens.
Exactly.
I'd love to be able to give up like 200 days, like a whole year of my life, and just create Lego World of Warcraft sets. That'd be brilliant.
It's the dream.
I shall quit my job immediately. Anything else from you guys on the Lego? Or are you just so jealous?
I'm just so jealous of his abilities. And finally, for news, we're going to talk about the 2015 Blizzard Art Contest winners. They have put this up on their blog. You can find this. If you're not watching the video, you can go to just worldofwarcraft.com. It's one of the newest posts. But we can just take a look through it right now. Some of these submissions are really cool, and my favorite one is the Draenei Ogre Half-Breed. Like, this is brilliant, whoever designed this. It's so cool. It's exactly what I would expect a Draenei Ogre Half-Breed to look like.
It needs to be a thing.
Yeah.
It genuinely needs to be a thing.
I mean, this genuinely looks like Warcraft concept art. Like, it actually came from internal Blizzard, so it's, definitely impressive. And we can see, not actually sure what this is, but it looks like Pandaria, maybe?
Yeah, I thought it came across as like an alternative garrison, but with a Pandaria theme.
Maybe. Either way, it's an environment done by Red Roof. That's the name of it. Never mind. It was not done by Red Roof. That is the painting. Hayo. I can't pronounce that. Sorry, artist. Cannot pronounce your name. Mr. Zhang, yes. And of course, the runner-up was a little pet, I think, that they were trying to design. The goatee. And
I want this as a mount.
Right?
That's what everyone's saying. They want this to be a mount.
Butterflies around it. I know. It's fantastic. We need this, Blizzard. Come on.
It would be the easiest thing ever. They've basically got the concept. Just make it a thing, and they're going to sell it.
Along with the ogre half-breeds. An ogre half-breed riding that.
That also needs to be a thing.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get worried that this might cost a lot on the Blizzard store.
True, but you know how it is when we predict things, they come true. So now we're going to have the ogre Draenei half-breed riding that little goat.
Through Red Roof.
Through Red Roof, yes.
What's sad is with Blizzard, it could happen.
Why is that sad? That's fantastic.
It is kind of fantastic, I'll give you that.
Okay, so enough of the art contest. We're going to be moving on to... What are we moving on to?
Discussion of the week.
What's a Drena anyhow? Can I drink it?
Discussion of the week.
That's right, it's time for discussion of the week, and I love how both of you said that in unison. Before we launched into the sounder. It was perfect. Absolutely perfect. So,
we'll try our best.
This week's discussion topic was a topic discovered by Big Voodoo, and it intrigues all of us. I think we've briefly touched on it in past episodes, but we're going to dive into it right now. Big Voodoo, take us into the discussion.
So I stumbled on a article, and stumbled is the right word because I was just kind of browsing the interweb.
He literally fell on his face.
About Blizzard CEO, I don't remember which one because I don't have the page pulled up, talking about...
Morhaime.
Mr.
Oh, it was
Morhaime.
Morhaime. Okay. Talking about his interest on either making current Blizzard games compatible with or creating new games based around the concept of VR.
Yep, and even Chris Metzen himself came out to say everybody's talking about VR and wearing funny helmets. Culturally, we're interested and we're watching. How rad, I can just totally see Metzen saying this, how rad would it be to run around in World of Warcraft and see it one-to-one? That doesn't... That does appear to be the next horizon, but we're kind of watching. It's possible that other companies will take more tentative steps and plant their flags. I don't think we're quite ready to conquer all that yet. But they're looking at it. Mm-hmm. They want one-to-one World of Warcraft.
Does WoW really work on a one-to-one basis? I know you can zoom your camera in.
I think it would totally change how World of Warcraft would be played, but I think it could totally work. Like, you'd have to almost make it an entirely different game or game mode or just thing you can do in World of Warcraft, but it could totally work. Like walking around Azeroth, flying around on a flying mount just in VR.
It would be really cool. Yeah, you'd have to do what they do in Skyrim and actually be able to see your hands.
Of course, yeah. They would have to implement stuff like that, or just it wouldn't be as immersive, I guess.
It's cool. I think it could definitely work.
Or what about the idea of like Diablo in VR, where you're literally just looking down over this entire game field, and you can look anywhere and see where your characters are moving.
Kind of like
look closer at
Minecraft with a HoloLens?
Yeah, just like that. But you won't be able to see where you're looking, so you'll be slamming your head into everything as you're looking around, but that's how VR goes.
How cool would it be, like, during Raid to World First, if you could have a VR headset and you could go into a first-person view of any one of the raiders? Because their camera, you could still have that information broadcast to your Oculus, for example.
That'd be very interesting.
So you could watch the Race to World First just by flicking between characters.
Or just a flyover view of a Heroes of the Storm match.
Exactly, yep.
Or let's not forget just VR Overwatch. How cool that would be.
Yeah.
I feel that's the game that built for it, really.
But or Hearthstone, for example, like you can see yourself literally sitting across the table from the hero you're playing against and be able to just look at the cards you're holding in your hand. That would also be awesome.
That would be good.
So the possibilities really for VR in Blizzard games is pretty endless. I mean, I don't know. It's an idea that really excites me. Or if Blizzard even makes a new IP strictly for VR, that would be awesome as well. But it's just that Blizzard is known as that company that takes other people's ideas and just makes them fantastic.
So it needs someone to come up
with
the idea first.
Like literally starting with their RTSs, and then they're like, hey, EverQuest is a cool idea. We could try an MMO. Biggest MMO in the world. No one's been able to top it. And now the MMO genre is dying entirely because of World of Warcraft. GG, Blizzard.
I would just think that with them buying their way...
Blizzard will go into VR and they'll kill VR. That's what they'll do.
Well, I think we've all agreed that it works better as a spectator tool, possibly more so than a gaming tool, although it can work as a gaming tool.
I think it just really depends on the game. I don't know.
I would agree with that, like, because I played on your Oculus, Tarley, and there are some things that I just couldn't see myself doing on it, but overall, there's also some really cool features with it, too, so...
See, what I've gotten from playing VR is that it's not something that you sit down and you play that for hours at a time. Like, you will get motion sick after a while, at least with the version I have, or you just get sick to having a screen that close to your face. So if Blizzard were to jump into VR, unless that whole thing gets solved in the near future, I think Blizzard would be more of just trying to make an experience for VR than rather a full game for VR. I don't know.
Yes.
I feel like they'd hop onto the HoloLens faster than they would VR.
Imagine an entire StarCraft map laid out on a table.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Well, the stuff they showed for Halo was that the HoloLens or the Oculus?
That was the HoloLens where they showed like the suit of armor in front of you and all that.
Yeah, see that would be awesome if you could spectate through that. Or even, I guess, if you were you could incorporate into the game like pre-briefings and things like that. Or I don't know how you'd want to do it, but that would be cool.
I mean, it really is pure speculation at this point, though, for what Blizzard could do, because VR is still in its like very child stages. It's an infant, really, as far as its stage in gaming, and I don't think Blizzard's going to hop in when VR is in this state. I think they're going to wait. They're going to wait it out, see what VR turns into over the next few years, and that's when Blizzard will be like, we're on the bandwagon.
Or we're definitely not on the bandwagon.
Right, one or the other, yeah. If it turns out to be the like 3D TVs, then we'll see.
I guess we've got to also bear in mind that is it only 1% of all PCs in the world are capable of
yes,
using an
at
Oculus?
Least according to Steam's VR test, only 1% of the people who take the test can actually do VR.
So it's a very small market at the moment.
Yeah.
But that's just a chance for, I think, probably the outside contenders, like those really niche developers, to go, you know what, we've created an add-on, so you can now watch Twitch through your Oculus, and we'll change the interface so that you can now do some slightly cool things with it. That, I think, is probably where it's going to happen. And then, like you say, Blizzard will go, you know what, a lot of people are starting to download this, so let's make it ourselves.
The other thing you have to think about is the Oculus is $600, the Vive is $800, so VR is nowhere near consumer level yet. Even though these are marked as consumer products, you have to have a pretty good piggy bank if you're going to be getting any VR soon. So again, I just don't think now is the current time Blizzard's going to be jumping in, unless you want to buy like the Google Cardboard for $20, and there you have VR right there.
And I mean, that's kind of a good point to bring up, too, because, like, Blizzard's definitely the type of company that makes things that are able to be bought by not just hardcore gamers. Like, their games appeal to pretty much everyone.
Exactly. Now, what if Blizzard were to make their own VR hardware?
Ooh.
I think it's unlikely, but it would definitely be interesting. Blizzard has
never
made hardware, ever. Like, that's just not their business.
It would probably be WoW. Like, whenever they do something, they do it well, or they just quit doing it before they release anything. StarCraft Ghosts. Like, Blizzard's not a company that's afraid to just eat whatever money they've put into something if it doesn't turn out well, or if it's not turning out well.
No.
You could test it, though. Like, just roll it out at BlizzCon. Have, virtual tickets that are quite literally virtual tickets. Strap on your Oculus, and you can look around using that. That'd be so cool. I'd even pay a slightly higher ticket price if it meant I could have it beamed into an Oculus, and I can look around and see different camera angles and turn to my left and see people there. That'd be amazing. And so if it doesn't work at BlizzCon, you say, well, we tried something. You've at least still got the usual way of watching it. And, $8,000 isn't much. That's usually what you spend to get some decent cards on Hearthstone.
Exactly. This discussion topic, very speculative, and it's hard to kind of base things to talk on because it is all pure speculation based on one paragraph that Chris Metzen said. But still, I want it. I need it. Gotta have it.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Rift, bought by Blizzard, being rolled out across all games, starting with Diablo, the original. I
Confirmed.
We've been very ambitious. Although, if these all come true, we will become the number one rumor mill in all of Blizzard history. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, it kind of would.
If we called that.
It would be pretty impressive, to say the least.
Are you guys looking to get firstly, are your PCs powerful enough to play, to use VR, and also, are you looking to get it? I know, Tarley, you are.
Well, yes, my PC is powerful enough, but no, I am not going to spend $600 or $800 on a VR thing when we don't really know how good it's taken off yet. Like, I invested into the dev kit because it was a third of the price of the release content. So that felt worthy, and it was really cool. I've had a lot of cool, fun experiences on that. Go check out our YouTube page if you want to see me get scared to death by Oculus Rift. But no, it's not something I'm investing in right now, and I don't think a lot of people really are, unless they have just $600 or $800 that they just want to throw at some technology that may or may not take off.
Are you the same, Voodoo?
Pretty much. Like, I'm damn near certain that I could run VR. I've never actually tested it off my machine, but I don't see how I couldn't. But yeah, I don't want to pay $600 for something that I'm barely going to use if I'm going to use it all, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it takes off, then yeah, but right now, no.
Oculus Rift version 2 will probably be something I'll be looking at more than the current version. Hopefully it'll be cheaper.
I guess it is. It could potentially be the same story as the Kinect. You know, that was Microsoft getting people to pay for effectively a prototype device that never really got applied. And now there's just piles of them at any used game store.
Yeah.
The only point of a Kinect is so you can yell at your TV and make it turn off. That's all you use the Kinect for.
Pretty much, yeah.
Which is exactly what you want to pay, $100 for? Just the ability to shout your TV.
It's worth it. Totally worth it.
It's not entirely not worth it.
Any more on the discussion topic before we start to close out the show?
I don't think so.
Anything? Anyone? Come on. All right. Well, I guess that about wraps it up for this week's episode of Geeks of Azeroth, unless anyone has any shoutouts. Hi, Mom.
No, you've stolen my one, Tarley, so
you were going to shout out to my mom.
Yes, I thought I should. It's been a long time since we've given her a shout out.
Any shout outs from you, Big Voodoo?
Shout out to Zool, that I still haven't met, but I'm sure he's a great guy. He seems like it.
That's kind of depressing that you have yet to even meet Zool.
Yeah, it kind of is.
We've never seen Big Voodoo and Zool in the same podcast together. Just
Maybe
saying. It could be the same person.
Theory! I'm predicting right now. Big Voodoo and Zool are the same person. Confirmed. All right. And with that wraps up our show. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. Our show is always available on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, and Twitch. You can check us out on Twitter at Geeks of Azeroth. You can find me at Tarley_pause. You can find Zool. Actually, nobody can find Zool. We don't know where he is, but on Twitter, he is at ZoolGeek. Britza, where can we find you?
You can find me at Britzza_EG.
And Big Voodoo, let's hear that lead speak.
B1GV00D00. Or at ZoolGeek, because apparently I'm him too.
And you can contact the show with messages, questions, shoutouts, or any information on where Zool has been. There is a reward if you find him. Send all of that to geeksofazerotheg@gmail.com. And remember to check us out at www.epicgeeks.co.uk for all the content we produce. Otherwise, we'll see you back same time, same place, and of course, it will be same time because we have to do a show every week now. Have a good week in Azeroth, everyone.
This podcast is part of the Epic Geeks Network. To find out more about our other gaming podcasts, head to epicgeeks.co.uk.
Nicely done, Zool. It's good to have you back.